Okay, 2015 Ford F-150 3.5 liter EcoBoost Platinum 4-wheel drive. I got to rebuild the front end. It's got a pinion howl. Before anything, I tape the steering wheel. I don't pull on this, but I just tape it to where if I try to move it, it won't move. I don't pull. I isolate this and then I put tape around it and then I run it through so I can kind of keep it. I'll raise it up in the air, pull the wheels off the front, 21mm lug nuts, and then I'll reach through the driver's side hole right here with a ratcheting wrench and I'll pull the 10mm bolt out of the steering selector that goes down and I'll slide it back off the steering shaft. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and pull the negative cable off the battery just in case. Okay, negative cable off the battery. Now let's get this up in the air and pull the 10mm bolt out of the steering selector going down to your EPAS system. So there's a bolt up there underneath that blue sleeve going down into the EPAS. That 10mm bolt has to come out of there. So reach up there with a ratcheting wrench, whatever you got to do, get that 10mm bolt out and slide that sleeve off. You may have to spray it with some PB Blaster or tap it on the bottom a little bit, but that's okay. Here's a little trick for you. I take my pry bar and I stick it up in front of the diff right here and get it in front of this rubber. And then I put it up in the hole like so. And then I use it to get in that groove and then I just tap it right off. Cross member. Pull the cross member out of here now. I believe it's 18 and 15mm. 18mm nuts, 15mm wrench. Alright, I pulled the little skid plate in the front off. It's a couple 13mm. And now I'm going to undo these connectors. I'm actually going to pull this steering rack out of here. Completely out of here. So undo your ground down here. Undo your connectors going to your steering rack. And then you'll have, I think there's a 24mm in the front. And they're super tight. Really, you should replace these. But these are customer pay, so I'm going to Loctite them and put them back in. Okay, you can see here, I've got everything unplugged from the steering rack. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here to the ends. Some guys don't pull this rack out. I'm going to because I want it out of my way and it's really easy to pull it out. People make it more complicated than what it is. I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. I think they're 18 or 21 for your tie rod ends. I'm going to smack the face of it here with a hammer to get them to pop out. And then I'm going to work on getting these 24mm bolts out of the front and slide this rack out of here. You'll have to like go one way and then slide down and then come back and then you could get it out. Okay, steering rack is dropped. This was a 21 on this side, this was a 24 on this side. You see how it's all dropped down now? I'll go ahead and pull my tie rod ends out of there and try to slide this thing out of here the best I can. Probably going to go that way and then drop it down on this side and then pull the whole thing out. Oh, you can see it did come out. You had to do some finagling and moving around and twisting and twerking, and you had to move the shaft down this way and then turn it back, clear the rubber flap, turn it forward, slide it that way, have somebody look on the other side where you maneuver it around and drop your tie rod end this way and slide it out and down and then twist it back and come out the bottom, and there it is. So I decided to make this a multiple part video. So this is basically steering rack removal to get to the front end, but I don't want to overwhelm people with too much information. So this is 2015 4x4 Platinum 3.5 EcoBoost, how to remove the EPAS system, and just this part one to move forward so we can do short videos so people don't have to sit here for the entire thing, and then people can find multiple segments on what they want to hear. Part one.